My girlfriend and I will never go camping. Authored by thegeneralg. I've been dating my girlfriend Larissa for about 6 months now, and everything has been going great. The only problem is that some of her friends don't like me. Larissa has plenty of friends I like and who really like me, but Abby, Paula, and Christina are the only outliers. What I hate more than anything else is how they all act like they like me, but anyone paying attention can tell they really don't. One night, we were all hanging out together at a party, and Abby, the lead friend who doesn't like me, mentioned camping as a subject, and people started talking about it. "What about you, Joel?" She turned to me. "You strike me as the kind who likes to camp." "Nope, I have no desire to camp whatsoever. The last time I went camping was 6 years ago, and since I didn't enjoy it one bit, I haven't been back since." "Really?" She tilted her head at me. "I could have sworn you told me you went camping recently once. Last year, on the West Coast in the first week of August." "No, I was in New York on business that week." Abby's face fell flat at this. "What's the matter, Abby? You look a little befuddled." I could hear the smirk in my voice. "I just could have sworn you went camping then," she said in an almost meek voice. "I could tell something was up, and I wanted to know what it was." "Really? Why is that? I certainly never said anything about camping. You must have confused me with someone else." "I guess so." She looked down at her drink like she wanted to sink through the floor. Paula and Christina were glaring at her like she had just done something beyond stupid. Which she probably did. I could feel the grin on my face stretch even wider as I saw Larissa watch it happen and silently took it all in. It was about time to finally say what I was thinking. "Look, Abby, I don't know what the hell your problem is with me or what's going on, but I'm sick of it and it stops now. If you're gonna talk about me, say it to my face and not behind my back to them." I pointed to Paula and Christina. "So, spit it out." She sat there silently for a moment while I stared at her. But just as she opened her mouth to speak, Paula spoke up instead. "Abby's been telling us for months that she heard your voice when she went for a weekend trip in Nora's cabin in the woods. One night, there was a group of intruders outside, and when she heard a few people speak, she swore up and down that one of them sounded just like you." "Well, I wasn't even remotely near there because I was clear across the country for work." "I swear I thought it was you," Abby muttered feebly. "Is that why you keep constantly making subtle jabs about why I shouldn't date Joel?" Larissa snarled, her voice full of barely contained fury. All she could do was nod. "We're sorry, Joel," Christina said quickly. "Very sorry," Paula agreed. "I'm so sorry." Abby looked at me. I hope we can be friends." I laughed. It sounded harsh even to my ears, and it made Abby and the others flinch, a sight I got plenty of satisfaction from. Go to hell and stay there. With friends like you, I wouldn't need enemies. I can understand you thinking I'm the wrong person and there being a mix-up, but you never flat out asked or said anything to me. All you did was talk about me behind my back for months. So, yeah, I'm not exactly jumping up and down to be friends. Please, we're really sorry. Don't you believe me? Abby asked, her face a mask of pure panic. Christina and Paul were silently watching me with similar expression. Do I look stupid to you? I wouldn't believe you if you told me the sky was blue. You're sorry, all right, but not sorry you did it. You're sorry you got caught being wrong, and now you're beyond stupid. So don't give me that let's be friends BS. I'm not your friend, and I don't ever want to be your friend. Let's go, Larissa. She nodded and didn't so much as look at her friends as we left. I can't believe that. I'm sorry, Joel, she said when we got in the car and were on the road. Well, now you know. I just don't know what to make of her claiming she heard someone who sounded identical to me. She's an idiot and completely full of it. You know the saying about everyone having a twin somewhere, but even if she did hear someone that sounded just like you, what can we do about it now? Right. We spent a lot of time together after that. Larissa severed all contact with her so-called friends, and it was a very happy time for us. For the first few weeks after the incident at the party, Paula, Christina, and Abby repeatedly tried to contact Larissa for days on end, but she cheerfully ignored them every time. Once or twice they even tried to contact me through various means, but I was more than happy to do the same as Larissa. But then, one morning, it all abruptly stopped, and neither of us paid much attention to it. One weekend, we went to her cousin Beatrice's lake house for an overnight visit. It was a crisp fall night, pleasantly cool and windless. The smell of burning leaves was in the air, as we had hamburgers on the grill before making s'mores with Beatrice and her husband Luke. Once that was over, we chatted about nothing in particular as night slowly set in, and we sat on the deck overlooking the water and watched the stunning view of the lake, the tall pines that surrounded it, and the crescent moon that shimmered off the lake's surface. From my right side, I heard Larissa's phone ring, and didn't give it much thought as she answered. "Hey Danielle, what's up?" she asked her best friend on the other end of the line. Larissa was silent for a moment as Danielle spoke. "You're kidding me?" She stood up as she asked the question. I could see from the look in her face that something was wrong. Luke and Beatrice also noticed something was amiss, but we were all silent as Larissa listened intently to whatever was being said. "Okay," she finally said after what felt like an eternity. "Thanks for letting me know. Keep me posted." With that, she ended the call and tossed her phone on her chair. "Abby, Christina, and Paula are missing," she said to me before turning to look at Beatrice and Luke. "They went camping with some friends and no one has seen them since. They were only recently reported missing, and the authorities have no idea what happened. The only thing they found was their campsite. Everything was intact, and there was no sign of anything amiss, aside from a single long scratch on the car." "I'm so sorry, Larissa," I said before I reached out and gave her a hug, while Beatrice let her husband inside without a word. The night was calm, almost uncannily quiet. The two of us stood there on the deck for what seemed like an eternity before we joined our hosts indoors. The lake house was beautiful. A 2-story cabin with a solid wooden exterior, it had every modern luxury, a great stone fireplace, and a stunning glass-enclosed porch. The fireplace was in the same room as the entertainment system, which we were about to put to use when I heard it. A gentle knock on the front door, so quiet you could barely hear it. Like whoever was on the other end was afraid of making too much noise. I glanced up and saw Luke and Beatrice looking at each other to make sure they had really heard someone knocking. Then, almost as if whoever was knocking could hear their thoughts, a second knock came. Louder than the first. It was still relatively gentle. "Hey, is anyone there?" I heard a faint male voice asking. I don't know why, but for some reason the voice gave me chills. There wasn't any other house around for miles, so it wasn't easy for anyone to just stumble across the property. I could see our hosts wrestling with the same idea as they were silently looking at each other, clearly unsure about what to do and wary about whatever was going on. But before they could make another move, a third knock came, much louder and more insistent than before. "If anyone's there, we need your help." A different male voice spoke. This voice sounded far more nervous than the first one. "Don't worry, guys. Everything is fine." Hearing Abby's voice made my stomach clench. I looked at Larissa, and she looked like she was about to faint. Our two hosts saw our expressions and knew something wasn't right. "I don't like this, guys. Something is wrong." The sound of Paula's voice made Larissa put a hand to her mouth out of fear. As quietly as I could, I moved over to her and put an arm around her while trying to ignore my own feelings of crushing fear. Across from me, Luke and Beatrice hadn't moved an inch from their seats on the sofa. The four of us sat there waiting for a moment, listening closely for any more sounds or voices. After what felt like an eternity, we heard someone walking away. Once we waited a few minutes to make sure whatever or whoever was at the door was gone, Larissa explained what happened, and Beatrice immediately called the police. When they got here, we explained what we heard and what we knew about her missing friends. The authorities took down everything she said, thanked her, and said they'd do what they could, but couldn't promise anything. We said we understood, then thanked them for whatever they could do. They never did find out what happened to Abby and the others. Every time Larissa and I get invited to go camping with friends, we respectfully decline.